Welcome to the Wednesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Wednesday. Welcome, everybody. Alio, Yellow King, Michael Hassler, welcome, everybody. Sorry about that. Just had to get myself ready. How's everybody doing? Let's get some music going on. Yeah, I like the little rhizome emote. Welcome, Cosmic Seeking. As Trump was speaking to women's conference in New Hampshire, only 400 people was Caroline Leavitt on Right Side Broadcasting Network with the 22-minute spiel about how it's all Biden's fault and only Trump can fix it, but 71 felony counts. So unless 74 million people vote for Trump again, oh yeah, like the people who are going to vote for Trump, that's already like a done deal, right? The Republicans are going to vote for him. Okay, that's like a pretty I think it's a pretty good guess to say that the Republicans are just going to vote for him anyways. 71 felony counts, 300 felony counts, 1 billion felony counts. I don't think they care, to be quite honest. The guy literally said, I can shoot somebody in Fifth Avenue and they'll still vote for me. I firmly believe that. It's one of those rare times where he's right. Right, they don't care. Exactly. Are we gonna gamba on it? Like, what's the are we gonna go over under as to how many people, how many votes he's gonna get, and what's the relationship between the amount of votes he got in 2020 and 2024? I mean, I'd be willing to wager. Hypothetically that the amount of votes that he's going to get is probably not going to be that much different. Where it's going to matter is like the independents. That's where it's going to make or break that election. This election coming up. Yeah, he'll win the nomination from house arrest. True. Technically, people can vote for who is on the ballot. If we really knew, would we be here? Yeah, true. Yeah, the independents are what's going to sway this election, pretty much. Or what's going to define who wins, essentially. Because, like, the Republicans are going to vote for him. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The dude could do no wrong in their eyes. Well, DeSantis is on the primary, and he's still trailing behind Trump like double digits. He's not gonna make it. DeSantis is not gonna make it. Even though he's pushing the same garbage policies that Trump is, he's just not gonna make it. We can revisit DeSantis on 2028, but I just don't see it. I don't see him winning the nomination. It's just not in the cards, in my opinion. There are others, but it's 2023, not 2024 yet. Yeah, but no. It's done. It's a done deal. I mean, like, I would bet money that Trump wins the nomination. Alio with the 15 and then 11 biddies. Thank you so much. 26 in total. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah, no. There's no doubt in my mind that the most likely winner of the Republican nomination is going to be Donald Trump. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, unless something just unbelievable happens that shakes up the entire thing. It's most likely just going to be Trump versus Biden. That's the scenario. I mean, we've pretty much kind of accepted that that's pretty much the scenario based on everything that we know. And as for the 2024 election, it's a toss-up. There are a lot of concerning polls that lean towards Trump. But Yeah, it's going to be a very, very close election. Still not 2024. Oh yeah, but the primary is. I mean, it's 99% chance that it's going to be Trump, right? Like we're not going to kid ourselves when like the next candidate down the line is like, way way behind. The same goes for like Biden, right? We can pretty much see the writing on the wall that Biden's going to be the nominee, um, save for some like other circumstances. But we can pretty much say that Biden's going to be the nominee as well as Trump. Unfortunately, that is what we're going to have to look at. As far as the actual election, the 2024 election, well, it's a pretty close race. It's going to be a pretty close election, guaranteed. That's not a good thing. I would rather it not be, but it is it is what it is. Here we are. But that's just my opinion based on what I've seen. We can vote against Trump and the courts are different. 71 counts unless they're all struck down. Well, no, I mean, yeah, like in the event in the event that we are faced with a scenario of a election where the can with one of the candidates is a convicted felon, um I mean, he's gonna still run. He's gonna still be on the ballot. Um, I mean, chances are that it's going to significantly hurt his chances, maybe. Um, but the people that are going to vote for him are still going to vote for him. And at that point, we're going to enter in some weird gray area where we have, assuming that he does get convicted of these felonies, a felon president. I don't know how all that's going to work out. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there, right? Oh boy. To have to parse out the legal ramifications of a president, of course, in the hypothetical of a Trump versus Biden matchup where Trump ends up winning, to parse out that legal scenarios, that's just beyond me, to be honest. That's just above my capabilities at this time, and above my capabilities at this time, and I'm sure they're gonna have to like parse that out, um legally, legal wise. So I don't know how that's gonna play out, but yeah, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Trump reality TV opera universe. I'm not supporting the GOP. Yeah, nobody should be supporting the GOP, at all. Nobody should be supporting the GOP. There's literally nothing there to support. We have like their current front runner and current leader of the party is literally calling for like the expulsion, or banning of the perceived political opponents. And when these people talk about communists and Marxists or whatever, they just mean the opposite side, because they conflate like liberals, they conflate Democrats with communists. So it just means people that disagree with us. That's what that means, and that's super dangerous. So yeah, I mean, there's literally no choice here. When we're at this crossroads, right? There is no choice. When we're at this crossroads, this guy cannot, or we should be doing everything in our power to remove this party from power. On every level, we should be fighting to remove the Republican Party from power at every chance we get. At every chance we get, whether that be in local elections, state elections, federal elections, the Republican Party must be removed from power. There's just no if and or buts about it. I mean, electoral wise, like the way within that context. Sorry, within that context, yes, the Republican Party must be voted against at every level. At every level. Sorry. All right. Let's get through some videos and then some headlines. So most Americans are kind of center. I guess most Americans are kind of center, but like actual center, not like I'm a centrist, but ends up being like right wing. I would argue that most people would vote for progressive policies if when given the chance. In fact, they do. But that's just my opinion. And that opinion is mostly based on what we've seen. When you have these ballot initiatives or state constitutional amendments, like, for example, abortion, even like red states, people still want the right to choose. People still want the right to bodily autonomy. Even in red states, when given the opportunity, would do things like raise the minimum wage. Another example is in Florida, when given the opportunity to give felons their right to vote. That was in Florida, in a pretty red state, and they passed it. So yeah, I think that people, when given the opportunity or given the option, tend to lean more progressive than not. These are just observations that are based on what we perceive or what I've seen so far. I'm pretty sure that if you give Americans the right, the ability to vote, if you give Americans the opportunity to vote for like something like, I don't know, a universal healthcare system, chances are they're going to vote for it. For me, as an educated agnostic, the progressive policies are better, but not many like me in Oklahoma or Georgia. Yeah, but I would say that I don't know. I mean, Georgia voted both. Georgia went both senators in a completely against the odds race. They voted both Democratic senators who kind of ran, not 100%, but who had some like progressive kind of a little splash of progressivism on their campaign, and that seemed to have won. There's hope, no red wave, and all of Trump's candidates failed in 2022. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But do not underestimate the Republican Party. Republican Party was able to grab most of the religious vote. I mean, that's kind of par for the course, right? That is kind of expected. The Democrats need to improve here. In Georgia, yes. In Georgia and elsewhere, too. The Democratic Party has a lot of work to do. The Democratic Party has a lot of work to do. Not just in Georgia. Florida, the Democratic Party is abysmal. The Democratic Party is abysmal in Georgia. In Florida. But yeah, no underestimating here when the GOP is concerned. Yeah, absolutely. You should not. Definitely not. Definitely not. North Carolina Democrats are losing ground. Yikes. All right, let's get some of these videos started.
Jordan Peterson,
Ah!
the Canadian former clinical psychologist turned conservative propagandist, has not been doing too well. So I'm going to get to his recent post.
Like, the dude needs help. I don't know if you've, like... Hey, Lucian, how's it going? I don't know if you've seen, like, how this guy tweets, because unfortunately Elon Musk likes to, force, people like Jordan Peterson down my feed, even though I don't follow him or anybody like him. So why would this be continuously popping up in my feed when it used to not? Is obviously, you know, Elon Musk being Elon Musk. But yeah, I mean, you have somebody who's clearly unstable and who clearly needs help, saying something about like the Malik controlled by like demons or some shit. I don't know. The dude's on another fucking planet. Here, let me read the tweet because it just popped up. It just popped up on my feed not that long ago. Of course, this guy is tweeting so much, it's kind of hard to keep up. Here he is typing in like a pyramid, I guess, in a just like he types a word and then enters and then types another word. I mean, he typing shit like there is no such thing as gender affirming care. Something about, quote, several leading scholarly groups from your favorite Luciferian rag, i.e. the New York Times. Okay, dude. Talking about liar. This is an hour ago, by the way. The dude's still on, rag, like a bad publication, Luciferian publication. Here he is saying, "Hey, liars and butchers in the U.S. and Canada, your appalling, demented, child-devouring, sadistic scam is coming to an end." As he posts a picture of a vampire. Okay. The dude's really off his rocker. Here we go. Hey, Echo Wrestle Dragon, what did I miss and what is we talking about now? Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson. Is this Kick or Twitter garbage? Oh, Jordan Peterson's not on Kick. Yeah, like the more I look into Kick, the more concerning it gets. Jack That Kid, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Oh, so not much of a surprise? No, like this dude's going like 17 hours ago. talking about prison. He's literally calling for prison for the worshippers of Moloch, which I have no idea what that even means. Literally talking like a 4chan post. Indistinguishable from a 4chan post. Oh, Moloch is a demon. Okay, gotcha. So he's talking about like prison time for worshippers of a demon who did this. And by did this, it means that a person made their own personal decisions to transition. So that's what he's talking about. Yeah. The dude is responding to a post about a trans person who is expressing their happiness. Who's expressing their happiness. And he's talking about prison time for the people who did this. There are no people who did this. This person made a decision for their well-being, so they can finally be who they are. And this dude wants prison time for perceived that like demon work. This is yeah. I think it should be noted that Peterson isn't losing his mind. He's always been like this. I mean, true. I suppose it's now more out in the open. I'm seeing Kick Robo streams and right-wing nuts and viewbots. Yeah, probably. Not exactly surprising. Or for clicks? No, I think he genuinely is like this. I don't know if it's for clicks. I think Peterson is genuinely like this. I think Peterson is genuinely like this. Correct. He's an ideologue. Yes, that's the exact, exactly. Anyways, back to the video about Peterson.
Online that set off a number of hilarious reactions, and I'm also going to get to some other stuff he has put on there on his Twitter that is just, he really is not doing well. And at the end, I'm going to get to my favorite clip that I think is still my favorite clip of Jordan Peterson. But let me get to what set him off recently. So this is the post that he went on to quote tweet. I'll get to his quote tweet, but this is the initial post from Spiked here, saying the term cis is an invention of trans activists, which it's not. I will get to the origin in a second. It is being used to shut down dissent, to compel adherence to gender ideology. The sooner we leave it behind, the better. Okay, so it's an article full of garbage. It doesn't really matter. But just to be clear about the history of cis, it actually has scientific roots. So in 2015, the Oxford English Dictionary added the word cisgender to its ever-evolving listing. It defines the adjective as designating a person whose sense of personal identity and gender corresponds to his or her sex at birth and is contrasted with transgender. So before I get to the origin of it, first of all, yes, this means I am cis. This means Jordan Peterson is also cis. He's a cis man. I'm a cis man.
Right. And I am cis too. That's it. It's not a freaking slur. Calm down.
Now, the origin of this is very clear. The prefix cis comes from the Latin meaning on this side, as opposed to trans, which means on the other side of or beyond. In chemistry, the prefix cis is added to the name of a molecule when two atoms or groups are situated on the same side of a plane of symmetry passing through the molecule, like a double bond between two carbon atoms. In molecular biology, a cis-acting element regulates a neighboring gene when it binds to a trans-acting element. And I'll link to this. This is from McGill.ca. I'll link to it below in case you want the deeper breakdown here with more information. But this is where we get to, remember, this is a former clinical psychologist here Jordan Peterson. Quote tweeting this saying, "Call me cis to my face and see what happens." Now, I'm going to get to some of his other tweets.
Like, what are you talking about? Bro. Call me. Like, I'm sorry, but like, if listen, Kermit the Frog, I would just like sit this one out, Kermit, because if you sound like Kermit the Frog, because like all I hear is his voice. All I hear is his voice. Call me sis and see what happens. Okay, dude. Listen. Lay off the benzos. You'll be alright. The right-wing failure of culture wars, so these pundits will change society. Peterson will not. No, I don't like. I think a lot of people don't fully see who this guy really is. Not enough people. This is not a serious person. This is not a serious person. And like, what is going to happen, Jordan Peterson? Are you gonna assault somebody? Like, what is this?
You can see in these tabs, I got some things coming up here, but this led to some hilarious reactions online. This is my favorite. Cosmic Slop posted this. What happens when you call Jordan Peterson cis to his face? Let's check this out.
So, Jordan, how do you do? I'm not Jordan. Just call me Jordan one more time.
I thought the marginalized were supposed to have a voice.
Oh man, this clip. I know exactly where this clip. I know exactly this clip. The marginalized. He's talking about men. Young men. Those are the marginalized.
It's making you emotional to talk about that.
Well, God, you know.
Oh man. So, look, there's nothing wrong with showing emotion, with crying. Jordan Peterson, however, has cried countless times over things that aren't anything important, which goes on to why he gets mocked incessantly for...
Like, the dude honestly, the dude needs to speak to somebody. The dude needs to be like talking to like a professional. I'm not kidding. This is not a joke. This is not to mock him. The dude needs to talk to a professional himself.
This sort of reaction. And there's other replies of this nature. Here's Pretty Bad Lefty. Say it to my face. With Jordan Peterson again in tears. And let me get to some crazy tweets. Okay, so this is... You have to understand the larger context here. It's, first of all, if you're not on Twitter, good. Don't bother. It's not worth it. But
True.
if you are likely already aware of Jordan Peterson and what he is like on Twitter, and just generally. But he really shows. It really is the I don't know, the pure distillation of what Peterson is displayed through his Twitter account.
Yeah, I mean, like you just go to his Twitter account. You'll see exactly what he's talking about, you know?
So this is a great one because his daughter actually replies to it.
What happens when fungus thrives in
Oh!
toenails and toenails get discolored?
Why are you talking about, like, toe fungus? Jesus. That was a wild commercial. I mean, like, you could just kind of take a peek. Why is he doing this? Literally, all his tweets are like this. Anyways.
Peterson retweets this clip from Pearl, who we don't have to explain who Pearl is. I don't want to explain. Basically, she's your typical conservative who is hired to, or I should say hired. I'm sure she does her own stuff, but has found her lane where she can be a woman who hates other women.
Oh yeah, just Pearly things is unbelievably insufferable. Yeah. Gotta be careful with Peterson's Twitter though. He argues with bots on a somewhat No! Are you serious? Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh boy. What a basket case. MAGA is not Tofungus? True. They are.
Like there are black men or black women who hate black people that are also considered propagandists. Or like there's a Dave Rubin who's gay who hates gay people. This is what these people are hired to do. Pearl, I think, has...
The bots isn't what you need to be careful about. It's the milking videos. Oh, Lord. Okay, oh, God. What is it? The CCP... the CCP nightmare. The CCP dystopic nightmare. Is that what we're talking about? Oh man, you're right. You're right. Oh man.
I feel like she actually believes this shit, but regardless, it doesn't matter. She posted here, outside of reproduction, society would function fine without women. To which Peterson replies, but who would keep the decorative pillow manufacturers in business? And his daughter replies to this. As if
like men don't have a sense of decoration? Anyways? What are you talking about? And furthermore, it's pretty misogynistic. But I guess it's par for the course for Peterson. Because she's pretty misogynistic.
Saying, your business would definitely take a hit, Dad. This is resentful. This is a resentful woman who hates other women, tells them they're useless after 35, and continues to propagate red-pilled lies. Just because the left is crazy doesn't mean people like this aren't. Which goes to show, look, you could have passed this off as Jordan Peterson almost making fun of Pearl here, which
But he's not, because he's very misogynistic.
He's not, but if you didn't know any better, you may think that. But the fact that Mikhaila Peterson feels the need to reply here publicly to what he is saying goes to show you that this is likely something that Peterson is also, another hole Peterson is falling down. And this is really what his bread and butter is.
Yeah, like the trans people literally live in this guy's head 24/7. Doctor in what? Supposedly, psychology? Although,
hating on trans people for simple.
You should live, bro. You have a 12-year-old kid's body. Why are you imagining a 12-year-old? Why are you imagining a 12-year-old kid? That's kind of strange. That's kind of strange that you imagine a 12-year-old. Is that what you're fantasizing about? Is that what you're fantasizing about? Why are you projecting? You're the one that said 12-year-old. You're the one that said 12-year-old. That's kind of suspect, my dude. That's kind. Oh, I'm sorry. You thought you came in here to troll. Oh, you thought you came here to troll. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. You came to the wrong place. Because because that's what you're fantasizing about. Because that's what you're that's what you are telling, that's what you want to see. Essentially. Oh man, imagine coming here and thinking that you're going to be the troll. Oh man, wrong channel, my friend. Wrong channel. Okay? You do sound like you're... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't ban you before because you're possible ban evader. Yeah, sorry. Hold on. I'll get to you in a second. What are you also fantasizing as fantasizing about me being a 12-year-old boy? Is that it too? I was listening to you and then you sound bad faith. Ooh, yikes. It's my new favorite emote. Yeah, the clown emote. I know. The circus ended early today, folks. Sorry. The circus ended early today. Anyways. I timed them out because they're coming in here talking about how I look like a 12-year-old, which is kind of suspect, don't you think? That's why my mod timed them out, because they came in here saying that I look like a 12-year-old. That's a little bit weird. I personally don't like that. So yeah, I'm a huge. Why are you talking about 12-year-old boys? I wasn't. The previous chatter did. That's literally what they said. If you were paying attention. Anyways, I reported you, by the way. Good. Already looked them up and reported to Twitch. Oh yeah, like these people are projecting the red flags. Most child at that age would have facial hair. Most children at that age have facial hair. Yeah, I mean, like the dude was just trying to say that I have a 12-year-old's do not. Okay, gotcha. I was about to say at 12. I don't think that happened. Anyways, the point being is that this person came in here saying that I have the body of a 12-year-old, which I assume that that's what they were imagining and fantasizing about, which is a little bit creepy. Anyways, that was my point.
Simply existing. So this is another tweet that he replies to. Toronto Star here with the report, gender affirming clinic to privatize services after OHIP cuts. There is an incredible dearth and lack of care for people who are trans. I have covered in several videos now the underfunding and defunding of healthcare in Ontario under the conservative Doug Ford government. And this has been one of the examples that have come out of that. So because they now lack care, or I should say funding from OHIP, from the Ontario Health Insurance Plan, they are now forced to privatize to be able to continue operating their business. Anyways, the real takeaway here is that less people are getting access to important services that they need. Peterson, though, what is his takeaway? Haven't you pathetic virtue signaling? Sorry, he said eye signaling? So even the typos, man. Haven't you pathetic virtue eye signaling scoundrels got anything better to do? No wonder you're broke. But why, I suppose, is the fault of evil capitalism, rather than your own stunning and constantly displayed inadequacy. No, it's because the funding dropped for them. That's the problem here. It's not the fault of evil capitalism is actually why they're able to continue existing. So in this case, you could actually say, well, thank God for capitalism because they can still exist. But ultimately, that also is not the takeaway, to be clear. But if you're going to, that isn't even what they're saying.
This doesn't make any
they're
sense.
Simply saying,
this is incoherent. So they were turning to privatization, which is capitalism, because they were just underfunded. What are you talking about? Peterson's lost in the sauce.
That in order to keep going without funding from the government, they have to move to privatization. But his takeaway here is that this is pathetic virtue signaling. This is a clinic that many people relied on. And to call it virtue signaling would assume that it's just, oh, these people are just, some group that just tries to generate buzz out of their support for the LGBTQ community. When no, this is an actual clinic that provides services that people use. But this is the common theme throughout all of his posts around this issue in particular. Here's another one that he replies to. Biden here saying something fairly innocuous. Love is love. No one should face discrimination because of who they are or whom they love. Congress must pass and send me the Equality Act. It's time we codified protections for the LGBTQI plus community. To which Peterson...
I mean, like, this is about as milquetoast as it gets. This is about as, like, bare minimum as it gets. yeah, no one should be discriminated against based on, gender, sexuality. That's just like basic stuff.
In quote tweets. That's 2 SLGBTQI plus, bucko. At least for today. And don't forget it, Joe Biden, you damn bigot.
What? That's 2SLG. What are you talking about? I don't know what Two-Spirit. Two-Spirit. Gotcha. Two-Spirit. I mean, the plus kind of covers everything. It's... okay.
Again, trying to create something out of nothing here. And then he screenshots the Canadian government and their acronym. Like, you're quote tweeting Joe Biden. At least.
Yeah. The President of the United States. Ah, yes. Let me post a screenshot of the Canadian government and how they use characterizations of like LGBTQ plus. Like, well, dude, relax, bro.
At least, I don't know, try and maintain some kind of consistent argument here. And
no, it's all coherent.
With...
It's all coherent, and it's all designed to drive outrage. That's it. This is the thing that that you're supposed to be like driving your outrage to. If you're a conservative, that's it. That's what it is. It's just bigotry and outrage. That's all he has. That's all conservatives have. This is all the basis of the stupid culture war and whatever. It's just to drive and manufacture outrage.
What the U.S. government has said about this, or another American group, and their terminology. But you go to the Canadian government, okay. And here's another. This one is wild to me.
Yeah, this is completely deranged. This is delusional. This is delusional. This is the tweet that came on my fucking feed. This is completely delusional. This is in response to a trans person expressing their happiness. That's it. You know, that's it. A adult who made a decision and is happy and is wanting to express that on social media. This is his response to the trans person.
Because it's completely unprompted. This account has like 1,000 followers. This is no one famous. Peterson tweeting here, prison for the worshippers of Moloch who did this and the lying therapist who enabled it. No science justifies this. No compassion requires this. Prison! Enforced sterilization is an internationally recognized crime against humanity. He is freaking out.
Wait. Enforced? None of this was enforced. Okay.
Over this person being happy.
That's it.
They posted puberty blockers at 15, estrogen at 16, castration at 19, happiness at 20. This person is happy. They are posting that, hey, I am trans, and now I get to be who I am, and I'm happy. And he's losing his mind, calling it enforced sterilization, when this person is a happy adult who made this decision themselves. And this is the reason I'm showing this. This isn't just Peterson. This is the underlying thought.
Yeah, so every right-winger is supposed to be angry. Yeah, like that's it. That's all it is. It's just anger and hate. That's it. Anger and hate. That's it. And who you're supposed to be angry, what you're supposed to be angry about, and who you're supposed to hate, just kind of keeps getting recycled throughout. It's all the same thing. It just gets recycled. Hey, Heat, how's it going?
Thought process for all of these freaks, for all of these people that are trying to control others and trying to keep people from being happy.
I didn't watch this one yet. I'll still give it a go. Give it a go. I can't read. I'll still go give it a like later. Gotcha.
Esta es Lola y está en Verizon.
It's just they want to control them for their own purposes. Not for, like, the idea that oftentimes they try to moralize their position here.
Now, see, that I can read. She sells by the seashore. See? That I can do. But apparently a basic sentence, no, I cannot. And that what David is touching on is exactly my point. The reason why you're seeing all of these, anti-trans bills, anti-LGBTQI bills, all of these, is because fundamentally this is the natural conclusion of a movement or ideology that does not respect bodily autonomy. That's it. That's where this stems from. They fundamentally do not acknowledge or respect or care about bodily autonomy because it's all about control. It's not just about control of women's bodies, but everybody's. Everyone must fit and conform to their worldview, or they'll be seen as demons, or require prison. Apparently, whatever. 95% of culture war nonsense is not new at all. Sex change and the M&M candy bar, the beer, the Dr. Seuss. Oh yeah, no, none of it's new. It's just recycled. That's exactly what I was saying. It's all just recycled. All this hate and outrage. Who you're supposed to, what you're supposed to be angry about, and who you're supposed to hate. It's just recycled. Yeah, but it's more and more effective. Yes, probably because of the ability of the internet. It seems like you have reading comprehension. It's just that you have the shoulders and torso and arms of a kid. I wasn't referring to your ugly old face. That's why I told you should lift. Yeah, I mean, like, maybe you should come up with, like, a better way of phrasing it, other than, like, you imagine me as a 12-year-old, because that's kind of suspect. You know? Tell me a difficult truth. I don't know, man. Let's see how far you last in here. A difficult truth. Here's a difficult truth. A difficult truth is thinking that you can come in here and be the troll on my stream. That's not how this works here. Sorry, I ain't got time for that shit. That's fair enough. They got one chance. That's it.
That, they're on the correct side. We tell you what to do. We are right. You are keeping people from being happy. That's what you're arguing. You are arguing against people being happy. People being who they are. Private citizens just being who they are. This person with, like, no followers, he quote tweets and goes after.
What? She has 1,000 followers. That's more than me. Am I nobody? Damn, that's cold, David.
Clearly someone in Peterson who is not very happy himself. Here's another example. This isn't Peterson, but this is just an example generally of what trans people deal with on a regular basis. Olivia Hill tweeting out here, this interaction is the perfect encapsulation of what it means to be transgender right now. So this account from Katie tweeted out, saw a seagull abduct and tried to eat a gosling today. I tried to rescue it, but it got away with it. Nature is so grim. And Jeremy Nova, unprompted, replies, nobody cares what kind of sex you have. Just stop telling kids about it.
Like, what? Bro. Rent free 24/7. Rent free. A difficult truth for right wingers. Everyone deserves happiness and love. True.
What? Like, what? What? But again, the hate towards trans people is completely unprompted, and it often is simply.
I'll wait on this one a bit. Hold up. Let him cook. Okay, usually these people with given enough rope, they'll do it themselves. Okay, just like the other person, just like the other troll. Give enough rope and they'll do it themselves.
An expression of the hate that people like Jeremy feel themselves. Few last things here, just to show you Peterson's losing his mind. He has at least a couple tweets in the past 24 hours with this image of Joker.
Jesus Christ!
Probably trying to tell us something. So he tweets out here, "Oh, good, the woman who taught Jagmeet Singh to lead now runs Toronto," referring to Olivia Chow, who I covered yesterday, who is now the new mayor in Toronto. She apparently was the first mentor of Jagmeet Singh. Very cool. And just like, I don't even know. Jagmeet Singh is not a threat. The NDP are in a far third place. The NDP have done very little under Jagmeet Singh. So the idea that you would be losing your mind, even if you were against what Jagmeet Singh is fighting for, the idea that you would be losing your mind because Jagmeet Singh was taught by Olivia Chow, it doesn't make any sense. And last one here before I get to the clip that I wanted to show you. Again, the other example of him using this image, replying to the Toronto Star, talking about trying to eliminate extreme heat deaths. Peterson replies, "Because the number one problem in Canada is extreme heat deaths," with the Joker. Like,
by the way, that's from the Killing Joke. That's from the Killing Joke, and yeah, the number one problem in Canada is extreme heat deaths, which is being currently exacerbated by climate change. So obviously, the angle here is to try to spread climate change denial. That's the angle that he's going with.
I don't have to try and find any logic here, because there is no logic. Yeah, yes, no, it isn't the most important thing, but it's one of the things that, hey, maybe we should try and address out of the many problems facing the world. Like, to again lose your mind over a single article about extreme heat deaths is very bizarre. This is my favorite Peterson clip, still to this day. I look back, I did cover this back when it happened. This is like maybe 3 years ago, I'm not sure. But Jim Jeffries here, a comedian, is interviewed Jordan Peterson at the time, and this was just an amazing moment. It really shows you just how little thought Jordan Peterson puts into his positions.
Making people bake a cake for a gay wedding.
Making them do it?
Yeah.
I don't think that's a very good idea.
But here's the argument. So should they be able to deny making a cake for a black couple if they don't like black people?
Allowed to? Probably. That doesn't mean it's right.
Okay, so then we had the civil rights movement, where they said black people, you had to serve them in your restaurants and stuff like that, and it did work, and it did make our society better, but would you argue that still wasn't right?
Jesus Christ. Oh, man. Fucking just nuked it out of orbit. Jim Jeffries just, like, nuked him out of orbit in, like, 5 seconds. Yeah, this was 5 years ago? Dang, really? Wow. 5 years ago.
No, that was right.
Why is that different to now?
Oh, man. Yeah, straight for the jugular. Damn. 2018? Wow. It just seems a lot longer. I don't. Time is relative.
Didn't want to make a cake for black people.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not different. Yeah. Maybe I was wrong about that.
Holy shit! Wait, did he just like backtrack and say like, "Damn, we should reverse the civil rights movements, the civil rights legislation"? Is that what he's like basically admitting? Yikes!
Now, you would think, maybe in any other circumstance, that, hey, this person has shown some growth. Peterson here has clearly not thought about his position on this at all, but he was informed, changed his position. Good on him. but he's only gotten much, much, much worse since then. So this is not someone who is looking to self-improvement, who is looking to, improve in any way or be open to different ideas.
What's your corner around? I think he's saying he believes they should make the cakes. Oh, so he's saying he's wrong about the gay wedding cake scenario, because for a second there it made it seem like, or I misunderstood. I understood it as Jordan Peterson saying he was admitting that he was wrong about the civil rights movement and it should be reversed. But hold on, I need to re-watch that.
Black people.
Allowed to? Probably. That doesn't mean it's right.
Okay, so then we had the civil rights movement, where they said black people, you had to serve them in your restaurants and stuff like that, and it did work, and it did make our society better, but would
doubling that would be, I mean, it's Jordan Peterson. That's what I thought he did. Hold on.
you argue that that still wasn't right?
No, that was right.
So here he's saying the civil rights movement was right. Okay, cool.
Why is that different to now if you didn't want to make a cake for black people?
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not different.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay. So he's saying it's not different, and that the whole like gay cake thing is not different, and that he's wrong. Okay, so he's admitting that he's just wrong.
Was wrong about that.
Now,
okay. Gotcha.
You would think, maybe, in any other circumstance, that, hey, this person has shown some growth. Peterson here has clearly not thought about his position on this at all, but he was informed.
So, like, he walked it back, like, he just, like, walked it back immediately. He's unable to defend what he really believes, so he backs off. Yeah, okay, now I understood. Conscious Canuck, am I universally blocked? No, I don't think you should be. Why? Glad we have, like, the YouTube channel. What? No, I don't think you should be. Yeah, please check. Tucker and Peterson may back, and Beck may buy an island. Yeah, I don't know. Conscious Canuck. I've been posting for an hour and nothing is apparently getting through. Huh. Well then. Okay. Can you post in other chats, or is it just like this one? Well, we'll have Heat's looking into it because that's not right. Does it say that you're banned, or does it say that you're timed out? Because like when you're banned or timed out, it'll tell you cannot type in this channel, or you cannot type in this chat. I would see if you can type in other chats, because that's strange. That should not be happening at all. What if I type on my YouTube channel? Oh, well, I guess it doesn't matter, because when I refresh, all my posts just vanish. They are in the viewers list. Okay, so they're in the viewers list, but as a viewer, I mean, even if you're banned, you could still view the channel. You just can't interact with it, right? Is that how that works? I'm not sure. Are you following ADT? Yeah, they are. It's Conscious Canuck, formerly known as Maple Leaf Dragon. I'm pretty sure they are. I'm looking through mod actions and I don't see anything like, because usually when you have like something being held for auto mod or being held for like, I don't know, whatever reason, suspicious, like the other person that came in that I banned, the other person that came in was under like possible ban evader, like it'll tell you and it'll come up. The problem we're having is that they're not coming up. They're not anywhere. Following and subbed. That's so strange. I'm looking through any mod actions and I don't see why like any of that should be a problem. I wonder if anybody else is having this issue. I wonder if anybody else has, like, you don't even have to be following to even chat. That's the strange part. You don't even have to, like, that's so strange. I wonder if anybody else is having this problem, or another test would be, are you having the same issue with other Twitch chats, with other people's chats? Follower only mode isn't on. It shouldn't be. As far as I'm aware, it shouldn't be on. That's how these clowns come in. That's how these clowns are coming in. So I'm not sure what could be the problem there.
Changed his position. Good on him. But he's only gotten much, much, much worse since then. So this is not someone who is looking to self-improvement, who is looking to, improve in any way or be open to different ideas, different ways people live. No, he's only closed himself off and become a much worse individual, a much more destructive individual for someone who is supposedly a public intellectual.
More like pseudo-intellectual. But anyways, yeah, I'm not sure. I would try to chat in other channels and see if that's giving you the same problem. It might just be Twitch. It might just be Twitch, being Twitch with all these, glitches and whatnot. I don't know. I'm at a loss on that one. If anybody else is having the same problem, please let us know through the YouTube chat. I mean, that's another way you can just kind of quickly let us know if anybody else is experiencing the same issue. But yeah, I'm at a loss on that one. The only thing I could say is like maybe try on another channel and see if you're having the same problem, because that might kind of tell you where the issue is.
In late March, we talked about Ken Ivory, a Republican lawmaker.
It's a ploy to get people to follow on YouTube. True, that's my my grand scheme. My big scheme. The ultimate grift. The ultimate grift. I will keep blocking people on Twitch until they join my YouTube. That's how it's gonna work.
Maker from the state of Utah who authored legislation that would empower parents to challenge and potentially remove books from schools that they deemed inappropriate. Shortly after the governor signed his bill into law, however, one clever parent submitted a challenge to a book that he didn't want to be challenged. I'm of course talking about the Holy Bible, and this parent argued that the Bible was one of the most sex-ridden books around, containing incest, onanism, bestiality, prostitution,
True. Yeah, one by
genital
one.
mutilation, fellatio, dildos, rape, and even infanticide. And this parent concluded by saying that this porn should be removed from schools. Now, because of this law, that parent
seems to be in every channel, so I just tried Hildebeest. Yeah, so maybe Twitch is like has messed up your account, or is experiencing some glitches where some people aren't able to chat. So that's strange. Hopefully it'll be resolved. Hopefully it'll be resolved by as soon as possible. I guess in the meantime, YouTube it is. YouTube is this is exactly why I have the YouTube channel. This is exactly why I have the YouTube channel.
Request had to be taken seriously, and it was. And in response to this request to remove the Bible from schools, Ken Ivory condemned that parent, even though he passed the law that enabled this challenge, by saying, as LGBTQ Nation explains, that it was a political stunt to, quote, drain school resources, and added, for people to minimize that and to make a mockery of it, referring to his law, is very sad, he complained. In other words, when he sponsored legislation that would lead to books being banned in schools, he didn't intend for that book to be banned, only the ones that he doesn't like. But unfortunately,
yeah, funny how that works, right? Funny how that works.
Fortunately for him, after a thorough review of the challenged material in question, the school district announced a decision that he definitely did not like. On June 2nd, the Davis School District announced that it would indeed be pulling the Bible from elementary and middle school shelves due to, quote, vulgarity and violence. And just like that, his book ban had completely backfired because the Bible was banned, and he did not anticipate that the outcome of his law would be that the Bible was banned. You love to see it. Now, his response to this news was absolutely hilarious because after his own law blew up in his face, he denied that it was the fault of his law that led to the Bible being banned, which is just demonstrably untrue.
Right, like this wouldn't even be a thing if he didn't pass that law. Okay? This scenario would have never happened if he didn't pass that law. So...
But at the same time, even though he claims that it's not his law's fault that the Bible was banned, he simultaneously called on lawmakers to revise his book ban in order to reverse the Bible ban. As AP explains, State Representative Ken Ivory, the Sensitive Materials Law's Republican sponsor, rebuffed the idea that his law paved the way for the Bible to be banned. Though he defended the review process after the sacred text removal, he said on Wednesday that the Davis School District had overstepped its role by removing the Bible from the middle and elementary schools because of criteria not in state law. Oh, okay. Ivory urged the legislature to change the law so book removal decisions have to be overseen by elected officials at open public meetings, not the kind of committee that decided to remove the Bible from middle and elementary schools.
But if it would have been a, I don't know, LGBTQ book or you know, a book about slavery or something like that, an accurate depiction of what happened in this country, I bet he would have not a peep out of him, not a peep. But because it was the Bible, all of a sudden, it's a big deal. That's true. It's one of the most violent and explicit books out there. Exactly. No child should be reading this, and quite frankly, no adult either, to be quite frank. But that's another thing.
In the Davis School District. So the process works. Anyways, let's revise the process so that way something like this can't happen in the future. Sounds like mental gymnastics to me, Ken. Sounds like he doesn't want to admit that his censorious law came back to bite him in the ass, and that's really embarrassing.
Yeah, like mental gymnastics on the Olympic order.
And that sounds like he was coping pretty hard to me. But it gets even better, because he admits that the Bible does have some adult themes in it, but that shouldn't justify it being pulled from school shelves. Listen.
Yes, the Bible is best taught at home. That does not mean that the Bible should be, could be, must be removed from schools. That's a leap of logic. That's
oh man, the same thing could be said about a book about LGBTQ people. What are you talking about? Himbo Slice, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that.
some have inappropriately made.
Hey, Ken, have you considered that maybe you should apply that logic to other books? The Handmaid's Tale, any of the books about race or LGBTQ plus people that were removed? Why is that set of standards okay for the Bible, but not other books?
We loved the Four Patriots food, and not only did it fill us up, it was...
Yeah. It's just, they're so hypocritical that they don't even care how hypocritical they sound. But he wasn't the only one who was coping hard after this decision, because parents lost their fucking minds and over 100 people showed up to protest at the state capitol following this decision. AP continues, concerned parents and children holding signs that read the Bible as the original textbook and remove poor, not the Bible, said they were outraged.
No, bro. Really? The original textbook? Okay.
After the Davis School District announced that a review committee concluded the Bible was too violent.
All of a sudden, all these fucking clowns are up in arms because the Bible was removed.
Vulgar for young children. Carly Vincent, a Davis County mother of 3 kids carrying children's Bibles to the demonstration, said districts could weigh banning certain titles with controversial material, but not religious texts like the Bible. Carly, what the fuck? Quote, we love the Bible.
Whoa! Welcome, Conscious Canuck. Welcome. I'm glad you were able to chat again. Finally. Did you just keep trying until eventually a message got through?
Well, we love God, and we need God in our nation, she said. Okay, that sounds like a justification for keeping this violent pornographic book in schools. I don't know how to even respond to that, but I just have to say,
it's
Carly,
a cult.
I don't understand. I don't understand your logic, okay? There is no logic. That's why I can't understand it. See, according to her, banning controversial material is good only if it's controversial material that she doesn't like. But let me ask you this, Carly. Does this sound like content that's appropriate for elementary age students? Deuteronomy 25:11-12. Quote, if 2 men, a man and his countrymen, are struggling together, and the wife of one comes near to deliver her husband from the hand of the one who is striking him, and puts out her hand and seizes his genitals, then you shall cut off her hand. You shall not show pity. Does that sound like something that's appropriate for elementary school students? Do you think a first grader should hear that, Carly? How about this? Ezekiel 16:17.
Jeez, I had to do a manual update on my browser, adjust the usage settings, and reload my VPN client and clear my browser cache. Oh, okay, there you go. I mean, if it works, it works.
You also took the fine jewelry I gave you and jewelry made of my gold and silver, and you made for yourself male idols and engaged in prostitution with them. They're talking about dildos, Carly. They're talking about a woman using dildos to masturbate. Do you think that that's appropriate for elementary aged children? Really? You gave this book to all of your kids? Why do you want to sexualize kids, Carly? You sound like a groomer to me. In fact, all of these parents who showed up to protest the Bible being removed sounds like groomers. Why would you allow this pornographic material in schools when very clearly...
Yeah, like if you want to fucking like launch this fucking like shit about like groomers and pedophiles, like damn, it's fucking fair game. Mike is completely 100% correct. It's fucking fair game. Gloves are off.
Kids should not be subjected to this content. They shouldn't have access to stories about women masturbating with dildos. Of course, the hypocrisy is going to be lost on them, but unfortunately in this instance, the groomers won because the book ban was recently reversed. As the Salt Lake Tribune explains, with a unanimous vote late Tuesday afternoon, members of Davis School District's Board of Education moved to return the religious text to library shelves for students of all ages. The highly anticipated reversal comes about 1 month after a review committee of staff and parents appointed by the district was initially determined that the Bible contained vulgarity or violence and should have access limited to just high schools. The district also released a statement saying that its policy was never intentionally manipulated to undermine Utah's sensitive materials law. It said the process played out as it was supposed to, and it noted reviews have been conducted on 60 challenged books, with 37 removed. Several members of the Board of Education said Tuesday that the Bible is personally important to them, and they are glad to see it on shelves again. Quote, "It is my firm opinion that the King James Version of the Bible is a historically significant, very important book of scripture with deep spiritual meaning for many people," said Bridget Gerard, the board's vice president. Okay, Groomer, it's weird to me that you think that children should be reading about women masturbating with dildos or women getting their hands chopped off.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Groomer. So many witty remarks lost. Oh man, it's okay. At least you can type now. At least you can message now. The old-timey English version of a book written originally in Hebrew and Greek, which were translations of translations of translations of translations of translations of things that people might have heard that were written down. It is just wild. It's wild. They should teach the Bible in class, the naughty bits. Yeah, there you go.
Grab men's genitals, but whatever. Seems like you just think that kids should be sexualized. Despicable. Now, the board also confirmed that they were forced to take requests to remove the Bible seriously, specifically because of the law that Ken Ivory authored, even if he denied the effect that that law had on the Bible being banned. They're saying here, nope, it was because of his law. Yeah. But regardless, you can see how quickly these book banners violated their own standards of what is and isn't appropriate for children because it came to material that they liked, even if there are literally depictions of bestiality and rape and sex and masturbation. They said, that's fine. Kids should be able to see that because we think it's okay. We think the deeper message here is more important than the pornographic content. Now, the legislature apparently did not heed Ivory's call for this law to be revised.
Lots of murder
because,
too.
Guess what? We're not done yet, baby, because after receiving 2 requests from parents to challenge the Book of Mormon due to its portrayal of physical and sexual violence, that book is now officially being reviewed and maybe pulled from school shelves next.
Ha! Oh man, they should
Honestly,
keep going.
bravo to the parents in this district because they are absolutely clever. These parents, even if they are trying to weaponize this law against Republicans by using malicious compliance as a tactic, they have a point, right? If these lawmakers said that sexual content is inappropriate for kids, then why do you make exceptions for holy books? Is sexual content bad or is it not bad? I mean, if you're consistent, you would conclude that.
But they're not, because it's not about, it's just about control, and making and shaping and forcing everybody to fit their worldview. That's it. That's it. 3 cheers for the Bible. Yeah, that's it. That's literally it. It's about control. Okay, they want to control what information and information and books your kids read. They want to control what you do with your body. They want to control everything, essentially.
That either all of it's okay or none of it's okay. But when you're a Christian supremacist or a religious fundamentalist of any kind in this country, you aren't necessarily wrong to think that the world revolves around you, because we have lawmakers who constantly kowtow to this space of people who have one standard for themselves and a different standard for everyone else. See, a book about queer kids or any LGBTQ plus related content is grooming and sexualizing children, but the Bible, well, that's not grooming and sexualizing children, even if it has things that they say are inappropriate when it's in other books, because fuck you. That's why. They don't care, right? Now, even if the Book of Mormon is banned next, it's probably going to be unbanned just like the Bible, but that doesn't make their hypocritical seething and coping any less hilarious. And I, for one, recommend that all parents across the country challenge these book bans in this very way. actually challenge the holy books in states with book bans, because using their own bigotry against them by going after religion, that is one really important tool that we have in the fight against censorship. So
yeah,
I
and
absolutely...
like a complete, you have to. Yeah, that you have to. Not even teach your own Bible just to prop. They teach your kids white supremacy and seven mountain dominionism. Yes, which is incredibly scary. Hey, Religious Fruitcake, I bet the streams were great last week with the indictment drama. Oh, yeah, the indictment stuff. Hoo boy. The dude's cooked. In any rational, logical world, the dude's cooked. If you want just kind of like a TLDR. Amen. Not women, though. True.
Absolutely love that Ken Ivory has been thoroughly exposed, and his own law led to the Bible being banned and possibly the Book of Mormon being banned. But is that going to get him to rethink his political positions and his own hypocrisy? Of course not, because in the world of Republican politics, hypocrisy isn't a thing that applies to them. Only liberals, only leftists. So, if book bans affect him in a negative way, that's not going to change his overall stance. It's not going to get him to be more logically consistent. It's just going to lead to him crying and getting what he wants, because that's what leads to victories for Christians in this country. So either way, I think the story is absolutely hilarious, and I will continue to follow these book bans where they are challenged in this hilarious way.
Yeah, I mean, like, absolutely. If you have that ability, or if you're in a state that's doing stuff like this, absolutely go after the Bible, 100%. 100%. To be fair, it's not even appropriate to be in school at all. Regardless, it's not appropriate to be in school at all. There shouldn't be Bibles in school. Last time I checked, there is definitely separation of church and state, supposedly. Yeah, there should be no Bibles in any publicly funded school. Absolutely. Talk about the fight against indoctrination, huh? All right, folks, we're going to go through some of these headlines. A book on library shelf isn't itself endorsement of a book on a library shelf isn't itself endorsement of a religion. True. I'll take that back. You're right. I studied pre-law in college here a minute, and basically what we should have is everything or nothing. Keep politics out of schools. Ban the Bible. There you go. With special considerations for children. Yeah, gotcha. Hello, another troll. That is definitely not going to get through. Who has been banned in quite amount of channels. Ban woke BS. Can you even define it? Anywho. Commie BS. I don't know what that is. You said woke BS. Now it's commie BS? Banned in 15 is a spicy record? Yeah, it's troll night today. Whew. It's troll night. What is commie BS? Because first you said woke BS. I don't know what that is. See Gramsci ring a bell? I don't know what you're talking about. What is commie BS? An Italian communist. Okay, you're not telling me anything. What is commie BS? And then you give me a name. of a Italian communist. I don't know what you're talking about. What is commie BS? Why can't you articulate what you're trying to ban? You are young. You have time to learn. You have no idea how fucking old I am. You have absolutely no idea how old I am. What is woke BS? What is commie BS? What are you trying to ban? And why? Why is it so hard to fucking articulate? Jesus Christ. How fucking embarrassing. Jesus. Anyways. But since I'm banned, censored, and moderated, you won't hear from me. Yeah, because you're a possible ban evader. Anyways. Governor DeSantis signs controversial bill that targets illegal immigration. With whoa, why is it not okay? With a federal change expected to lead in a surge in migrants crossing the country's southern border, Governor DeSantis on Wednesday signed a controversial bill that targets illegal immigration. Yes, known border state Florida. The bill SB 1718, which Republican-controlled legislature passed during the session that ended last week, includes use your F-150 voice. Includes stepping up requirements on businesses to check the immigration status of workers, cracking down on people who bring undocumented immigrants into Florida, and collecting data about whether hospital patients are in the country legally. That's a red flag. And it is a part of a series of steps that DeSantis and other Republican leaders have taken in recent years aimed at undocumented immigrants. It also comes as DeSantis, who is widely expected to run for president in 2024, blasts federal border policies. He is running, but he is running. Anyways, the bill includes requiring all businesses with 25 or more employees to use the federal E-Verify system to check the immigration status of workers. Since 2021, such businesses have been required to use E-Verify, or what is known as I-9 forms. Toughening criminal penalties for transporting undocumented immigrants into Florida. While the bill indicates that changes are aimed at curbing human smuggling, okay, opponents raise the prospect of family members and groups such as churches being prosecuted for transporting immigrants into the state. Requiring hospitals to ask patients about whether they are U.S. citizens or in the country legally, hospitals are required to submit their reports about their responses to the state. Yeah, massive red flag. Providing $12 million to the State Division of Emergency Management for the unauthorized alien transport program, which could transport undocumented immigrants to other states. The program would be similar to the controversial flights of last year of the Martha's Vineyard and the other one in California. DeSantis signed the bill before the Biden administration plans to end what is known as Title 42. So basically, oh wait, this happened. This happened beforehand. So then, why is this news now? We already went through that. Apparently, there wasn't really as big of a surge. How can one state be so much trouble? I mean, like, that's what happens when Republicans have a pretty strong majority. You become Florida. This is a case study for what happens if you allow Republicans to win power. This is a perfect case study as to exactly what would happen if Republicans ever won power to that degree, where they have the legislature and the executive. It is a perfect little tiny window, and it's quite scary. Imagine DeSantis as commander-in-chief. I'd rather not. I would rather not. Florida, America's tiny mishappen dick. McCarthy hedges comments on Trump's 2024 strength. Yeah, it looks like our friend ran off. I guess they decided that they weren't going to elaborate on what they meant. Cowards. House Speaker McCarthy on Tuesday walked back his earlier comments expressing the uncertainty over President Trump's strength as a 2024 candidate, telling Breitbart News that Trump is stronger today than he was in 2016. Oh, man. Oh, man. To say that Trump doesn't have a hold on the party, huh? Speaking of cowards, True. McCarthy's comments earlier on yesterday, were uncharacteristic of the California Republican who has been a staunch Trump ally and defended him through his legal woes. As usual, the media is attempting to drive a wedge between President Trump and the House Republicans as our committees are holding the Biden DOJ accountable for their two-tiered levels of justice. McCarthy told Breitbart, a far-right outlet. Yeah, it's not just a conservative outlet, it's a far-right outlet. Just look at the numbers this morning. Trump is stronger than he was in 2016. McCarthy, who has not been offered an endorsement in the crowded contest, told CNBC that he thinks Trump could beat President Biden in 2024, but when asked about the investigations facing the ex-president, he said the question is he the strongest to win the election? I don't know that answer. Kevin McCarthy's endorsement is unlikely to be a motivating factor to Republican primary voters for obvious reasons, said GOP hardliner, i.e. far-right Congressman Matt Gaetz told Axios before McCarthy's comments to Breitbart. Representative Don Bacon told Axios before the Breitbart article that McCarthy was being candid and reflects the conference where some support Trump and some do not. Quote, he's being wise by letting the voters show the way. McCarthy is aligned with some Republican colleagues who have defended the former president in his historic indictment over his handling of the classified documents. I'm honestly concerned about this election. Even if we get Biden to win, we'll still have just Biden. Yeah, that's completely a completely fair concern. A completely fair concern. Just because Biden wins, hypothetically, if Biden wins this election, doesn't mean like, yay, we saved the world. No. That's true. It is a very valid and completely logical concern. But we're in a position where that is the scenario that we're looking at. How messed up is it? How messed up is it that that's the scenario that we're pushed in? It's like bailing out the boat that's sinking instead of actively blasting holes into the boat. Right. It's not exactly an ideal position to be in. Wouldn't be prudent at this time. I almost missed that idiot. If Biden wins, the cheer will be, yay, we managed to successfully apply the new band-aid to democracy, but it's still sinking. Right, the ship is still sinking. It's just that it's like putting holes in the boat with the birdshot instead of slugs. Yeah. The ship is still sinking. It's just at what degrees, what degrees we're talking about here. I mean, like when you've got like the opposition, when you've got like the Republican candidate, the leading Republican candidate, talk about make statements like, I'm gonna use my authority or my government to ban political rivals, And for the ones that are already here, then I guess we're just going to have to make a new law for them. That's some scary shit. That is some scary shit. The fact that he even said that out loud to cheers. To cheers and applause. I mean, I myself do not want to be a doomer. Well, it's not, I try not to be a doomer. It's more of like, it's more like trying to show the reality and the severity of the situation, right? Because things aren't okay. Things are not okay right now. Things are most definitely not okay. I mean, it's just shocking to hear the former president and current front runner of the Republican Party say that maybe we need to create a law for them, meaning the people who are political opponents who are already here. Well, of course, using his power as the executive to ban socialists and communists from coming into the country, and use his government to make a law about the ones that are already here. It's just like, it should give people goosebumps as to how scary that is. You want to hear the difficult truth? Your wife will never love you. They will never even know you existed. That's sad. Come on, don't be like that. Welcome in Anokay Life. I mean, Kari Lake did not win even after lawsuits. Lake still lost. Yeah, but Donald Trump isn't Kari Lake. Donald Trump has a very, very strong chance. Donald Trump has a chance of winning. Donald Trump has a chance of winning the presidency. That's scary. That's some scary shit. If Trump gets elected again, he will try to overturn the law that makes it illegal for presidents to have more than 2 terms. I mean, it wouldn't be surprising. I mean, like, it wouldn't be surprising. The dude's an authoritarian. The dude's a fascist. It would require a constitutional amendment. Whew. Not to judge both stories, but the submarine debacle is an eerie microcosm of how the GOP runs government. Rich people who think that they know better than SMEs in government, bureaucrats, and we saw the result. Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about that analogy, but yeah, it seems to work. Or at least it fits. Maybe I'm mistaken, but Biden won 81 million votes last time. I believe so. That seems right. It just, can he do that again? It was already a close race as it was last time. And it was against, not only was it a close race, but it was, Biden's like first term. Now Biden's the incumbent. Over just say the law is unconstitutional, run again, then let the Supreme Court settle it. I don't know if that one will work. I don't know if that one will work. I mean, they thought that they could shoehorn fake electors and make that a legitimate challenge to the election. So I mean, they might try some weird dubious legal challenge to it, but I don't know. Like the simulacra said, it might not even be possible. So I haven't been in a stream in a while since I'm in recovery, but what's been up? What's the news? Are we talking about billionaires slushing at the bottom of the ocean, debating if small government or big government will be conducive to our goals, taking gossip about Hell's Paradise? A def must watch in this anime season. Yeah, like basically the TLDR is we're just talking about how Republicans are a threat to, they're fundamentally incompatible with democracy. It's hard to say a constitutional amendment is unconstitutional. Definitionally, it just doesn't work. Gotcha. You would have to overturn it with another amendment, right? You'd have to overturn it with another with another amendment. Whoever the GOP picks after Trump will be bad enough themselves. Oh, yeah, no, much better. Much better. That's very consoling. Do you ever do debates or just kind of podcast-style discussions? I mean, I've debated people. But I don't... the reason why I don't do, like, debates as, like, a public thing is because I don't want to give the impression in a social media atmosphere that the things that we are talking about are like, you know, this is just like a competition, bro. This is just like, I don't know, like it might be different if we had like a more serious like setting, because I mean, like I said, I have had small like debates against people, but I tend to just not make, I don't want to give the impression that this is a spectacle. That important issues are nothing more than just points to be made. Like I'll respond to people in chat and I'll debate people in chat if they say something completely ridiculous or asinine. But as like a back and forth, it just really depends. Like, would I go on another platform to debate? I don't know. It just depends. I think the news is important, but I also think long-form discussion are also important. Yeah, that's true. He totally should have guests, though. I have had guests in the past, too. So that's more probable than a debate, okay? It is more likely than that I'll have a collaboration or a guest. Then it will be that I have a debate. Just do not go on Wix. What is Wix? What is that? I'd be so interested in seeing you do more than the news. I mean, I've done other type of content. Like Alio said, I've done like video games and stuff like that. But yeah, debates. It'd have to be in a serious setting. And I don't know if I would want it to be like streamed. I don't know. For example, a guest on Casey Lee's stream talk a lot of times a week, and we have a long form discussion about our beliefs and goals. It's not really a debate since we both usually want similar things, but definitely a way to get deeper into ideals and thoughts and make people more think deeper about topics. Yeah, I mean, like that is more favorable than it is for me to have somebody of to like have as an opposition. That is probably more likely and more that I would be more open to that than I would be debating. ADT in a tie, I'll come in a tuxedo. Okay, I'll still have my beanie, but I'll come in a tuxedo. How about that? What? I mean, you don't want to go into the beanie, the Tim Pool, the beanie compound, the beanie compound. Oh man. Would I go to the beanie compound? Hard to say. If I felt confident enough, maybe. But also, like, here's the problem. You know, did Emma do good? Yes. Was Emma very, very successful at, you know, kind of like pushing back? Yeah. But here's the issue. Have some sushi and poker with the boys. Look, leftist defends graphic books and adult dating apps for children. That's not what happened in this discussion. That's not what happened in this discussion. Puny God. Yeah, exactly. You have a more cozy vibe, to say the least. Yeah, that's the point here. The expression on Emma's face in the thumbnail is like, come on, dude, seriously? Yeah, because that was exactly her. That's exactly correct. That's exactly her reaction. When he asked, I think he tried to make the claim like, oh, so you support, like, what? No. ADT is like Hassan if had more reasonable person. So basically a second thought, but as a streamer. Well, yeah, second thought is more, yeah, he's definitely more of a long form content. Did you hear about the Bible being banned in Utah? Yes, we actually just saw a video on that. The Bible was banned and, forced to be removed from the children's from the schools, and then it was promptly overturned. That was just most of her reaction. Yeah. True. So, like, yeah, this is exactly why, if this is like the type of stuff that Tim Pool is gonna do, then no, I'm not gonna go on the Beanie Dome. I'm not gonna get into the Beanie Dome. If this is the type of shit he's gonna do, you know, leftist defends graphic books. No, they were talking specifically about a book, which wasn't graphic at all. And she wasn't defending dating apps for children. She was talking about how children and teens need to be educated so that they're not being taken advantage of. These apps exist, and it's better to educate children and make sure that they're completely aware of these things so that they're not taken advantage of. The more knowledge, the better. That's not defending dating apps for children. These are two different things. The Beanie Dome, yeah, that's not my original thing. That's the Surfs, okay? The Surfs were the one, I think it was Lance who made a thumbnail calling it the Beanie Dome. So that's not my original, okay? That's not my original. Oh yeah, the guest star feature. But no, I would honestly, Zoom is probably the best. Zoom or Discord. Zoom or Discord is just probably the best method for me. I don't know if I would just use the guest star. Here's a question: would guest star work simultaneously as like if let's say the Beckosphere decides to join the channel? Would the Beckosphere also be simultaneously streaming, and we can kind of like group everybody together? That might be more interesting. Anyways, yeah, like if Tim Pool, like, I'm not against necessarily debating someone. It just really depends. Come to think of, my second girlfriend was the results of a dating service when I was 13. If we want to protect children, how about we guarantee them food and housing? Yeah, she made that point too. She made all of those points, actually. She talked about guaranteeing food, housing, education, guaranteeing parental time off. Like, she was arguing for that, and she asked Tim why he doesn't promote that. That's what Twitch wants. I mean, that would be interesting if they could make it work, function, right? If you were to do guests, I'm not big, but I'd love to come on sometime to pick your brain because I have so many questions. I mean, like, I'm not exactly opposed to guests versus like debates. Pool will not debate you alone? Nah, I don't think so. He has to call in fucking the clowniest of clowns, actual justice warrior. But yeah, I'm not incapable of, like, dealing with that clown too. Dan Clancy wants everyone using guest star tool. I mean, it's a interesting concept if it works. She's a lady, ADT. Emma? Anywho. Point being is that I'm not exactly against the concept of debating, but yeah, this is just out of pocket. True story, a dating service in the 90s approached our school for some beta testing, and ninth grade class were putting into dating pools and paired off. My second girlfriend was the result. Huh. Same priorities. Gotcha. Okay, it just clicked in my head. Sorry. Double toasted Twitch channel as used to meet chat. Gotcha. Most debates just make me mad because it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, like, like, if you're doing like debates like this, prepare to be prepare for like the opposition to try to bog you down on like the weeds and like never get to the actual like meat and potatoes of like the original point that you were debating. Like, you got to be really careful. Like, Emma did a phenomenal job to try to kind of reel that back. But yeah, it's yeah, and not gonna. Oh yeah, no, she's not. No, you're not there. You're not gonna be there to convince people. You're not there to convince the interlocutor. Emma's talking to the audience, Tim's audience, hoping to expose some of his tactics and the Nazi thing. Gotcha. Well, then she did exactly what she was supposed to do then. She completed her mission. She also said she would only do it once. Gotcha. So yeah, I'm not there. Like, I wouldn't be debating like the person to debate the person to change my interlocutor's mind. That's not why it's there. It would to be mostly to defend my principles and to defend my beliefs, and to do so with conviction. Dominoes, ominous. I assume you identify as a progressive or slash true left. I mean, like, I'm definitely left wing. I'm definitely left wing. My ideology is very simple. Food, housing, education, and healthcare. It's that simple. For now. As based on the confines that we have, I don't think it is out of pocket to have a society that has food, housing, education, and healthcare. I get too worked up when trying to talk to people on the other side. Oh yeah, no, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's even more difficult online because you don't know who's messing with you. You don't know who actually believes what they're actually saying. Like talking to people face to face is a little different, but online. Domino's? Wait, are we ordering Domino's? Now I want Domino's pizza. My economic beliefs should be that workers should own the means of production, and I think that we should have a more democratized economy. Workers should have a say in what happens. Democratization of the economy is something that I would move towards. I got someone so mad because I told them that they couldn't call themselves a Christian and vote for Trump. Oh man. Even a dating computer determined that my most compatible partner was a reality challenged French-Canadian girl about half my height. All my former girlfriends reality challenged from French-Canadian girls half my height, which is why I'm single. Oh boy. We are at or close to end stage capitalism. True. Could see it all around you. All right, so this not as important. Yeah, it turns out that this may have been worse than originally thought. See, that's the thing. I don't know what cultural. I enjoy listening to you read the news. Yeah, that's what we do here. I don't know, like, what exactly cultural values would mean. Like, do you mean that I support individuals' like rights to do whatever they want, and be as happy and as fulfilling to live a happy and fulfilling life? Yeah. Yeah. Do I want a society that values? Do I want a society that values freedom and liberty and democracy? Yeah. And what does freedom mean? Freedom means that you are able to choose or at least have as much control of your path as possible, of your life as possible. You would think that Trump was just arrogant and kept the documents as mementos. To me, that is naive. He kept them for a reason, for ransom, blackmail, or profit. Probably, to be quite frank. It wouldn't surprise me. Just to skim through this, Trump is going to sue Jean Carroll, claims that she defamed him on television. The former president alleges in his lawsuit that Carroll acted with malice when she said that he raped her after a jury found him not liable for that claim. The key word being acting with malice. But the jury did find him liable for the other stuff. For sexual abuse. So, like, How is that going to play out here? You're claiming that you were defamed because she said that you raped her, but the jury found that you just sexually abused her. Yes, that's gonna bode well. Good luck with that. Exactly. Exactly. That's gonna bode well. This case is probably gonna drop. This is probably not gonna go anywhere. It's just the irony of it. That's the only reason we're even talking about this story. It's the irony of it. All right, folks. In some good news, I think we should talk about some good news. Yusef Salaam declares victory in high-stakes New York Council race with substantial early lead. Yusef, a political novice known for being wrongfully convicted in the Central Park 5 rape case over 3 decades ago, declared victory late Tuesday in Harlem's high-stakes city council primary election, triumphing over 2 longtime lawmakers from the storied neighborhood. With more than 97% the votes counted, Salaam is leading his top contender, Assemblywoman Inez Dickens, by more than 2,500 ballots in the Democratic primary for the neighborhood's 9th council district, according to unofficial tallies released by the City Board of Elections. The third contender, Assemblyman Al Taylor, trailed behind Dickens more than 1,000 ballots. Tallies show putting Salaam in the lead with just over 50% of the vote share. Doesn't mean anything that they shouldn't, and they shouldn't report on it. And after he went back out on CNN and did more, right? Which she threatened to sue him for that too. Which I don't know if she will, or I don't know. If Salaam's lead stays about the 50% threshold when all is said and done, he'll secure the victory without having to go through the ranked choice process, which voters' secondary choices are added into the mix until a candidate nets a simple majority and is crowned the victor. No official call has been made in the 9th district shortly as of 11 p.m. So that's news. That's cool news. One of the original Central Park 5 is pretty much in the lead and pretty much has the ability to win this race. Freedom is having the appropriate amount of resources, assets, and income to exert one's will to positively interact with society and develop as an individual. I mean, like, yeah, that's kind of like the notion that I'm talking about. Yeah. Or it is part of the other one she has going. Who knows? I'm not 100% on that one. The Biden-Harris administration announced funding for 162 community-led infrastructure projects as part of the Investing in America agenda. Today, U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg will join the Assistant Democratic leader Jim Clyburn and others in South Carolina to announce the Biden-Harris administration has awarded more than $2.2 billion from the Raise Discretionary Grant Program to 162 infrastructure projects across the country. Today's funding includes a nearly $23 million grant to build a pedestrian bridge and a multi-modal transit hub to better connect neighborhoods and college campuses to downtown Orangeburg, South Carolina. The RAISE grant program, expanded under bipartisan infrastructure law, supports communities of all sizes, with half of fiscal year of 2023 funding going to rural areas and other half going to urban areas. The grants are part of President Biden's Investing in America agenda that is growing the American economy from the bottom up and middle out, from rebuilding our nation's infrastructure to driving nearly $500 billion in private sector manufacturing and clean energy investments in the U.S. to creating good-paying jobs and build a clean energy economy that will combat climate change and make our communities more resilient. Not sure about that last part. Yeah, I know. S.V. Harkin, that's a vote by, yep. Country. CIA Pete. They're still pushing Mayo Pete. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if he'll ever even become another presidential candidate in 2028. What did it say about Standing Rock? Route 6 reconstruction and preservation, 18.5 million grant to resurface BIA 6 on the Standing Rock Indian Reservation, addressing a road with higher than average roadway injuries and deaths. So just like basic infrastructure. Something that should have been done years ago, ages ago. The raised discretionary grants help project sponsors at the state and local levels, including municipalities, tribal governments, counties, and others to complete critical freight and passenger transportation infrastructure projects, and they may not have had the funding to carry out prior to the passage of Biden's infrastructure law. Yeah, 60 to 70 years ago. The eligibility requirements of RAISE allow project sponsors to obtain funding for projects that are harder to support through other U.S. Department of Transportation grant programs. The RAISE program is one of several ways communities can secure funding for projects under the bipartisan infrastructure law's competitive grant programs. This week, the Federal Transit Administration announced early $1.7 billion in funding through the agency's low to no emission vehicle program, which puts more not zero emissions and low emission buses on the road, which you talked about. While supporting workforce training on new vehicle technology. Earlier this week, the department also published the 2023 Notice of Funding opportunity for the Multi-Model Project Discretionary Grant Program, a 3-in-1 grant opportunity for communities interested in funding made available through the National Infrastructure Project Assistance Discretionary Grant Program and the Rural Surface Transportation Grant Program and the Infrastructure for Rebuilding America Program. So, yeah. It's good for people breathing in a city. Yep. So some basic transportation, some basic infrastructure has been announced today. Yay? I wish we could do more, honestly. Imagine a country that prioritizes the people. Imagine a government that actually represents the people. What a thought, huh? They should announce this amount every single day. Yeah, until our infrastructure is up to snuff. RMS, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. All right, folks. I've got to get going. Folks, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to hit the follow button. It really does help us out. Join us on the YouTubes. It is our backup. So if you want to subscribe to the YouTube, it also helps us out. Spread the word far and wide. We are here Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. So I appreciate all the biddies, the follows, everything, the subscriptions. You guys are what makes this channel grow, so I really appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much. Get all that money back from the military, successfully completing an audit so you can do more. True that, God, how many billions just magically just failed to, materialize? Too many. Exactly. If you want to keep up with the channel, you can also join our Discord. We do have a Discord. So please, please join it if you want to keep up with that, with the announcements. And if all your wishes come true, if all my wishes come true, then we would have a perfect world. How about that? Fantasy. We would be living in a utopia. Okay? That being said, folks, thank you guys so much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate the follows and the subs and the biddies and all of that awesome stuff. Thank you. Thank you, Heath. Thank you, Michael Hauser, for keeping the peace in the chat. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I can't type, but it sounds great. Thank you. Thank you to all who are hanging out in the chat. I appreciate it. Thank you to the mods for keeping it cool. As always, folks, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next one tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. See ya. All right, folks, hang tight. We're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See ya.